Okay, here we are. This is Denise's song, Denise Valle, and we're just pulling this straight out of the thing. Josh already cheated.
Just a little
Only
taste.
a little cheat.
Just a little cheat.
Okay, so this is gonna be the big taste, but we've got the music playing because that's the whole experience, right? This here is alive with bacteria, good bacteria, and it has been brewing for almost a week in this system here. We had the volume turned down, but we double checked it by putting the
We've been watching it diligently.
right, and so the speaker, when you put your ear to the bottle or to the canister,
For demonstration.
well, it doesn't work. I kept trying. You can put the phone
Well, just
up and
for-
the phone
so
won't.
it's
Okay, this is the
inaudible.
volume.
Yes, it's
but when you
inaudible
put
in the
your
room.
ear to that, it is really loud in the water or the liquid, and you can even feel the vibration in the liquid at that volume. So we just turned it up so you are hearing us as we do the full experience just like you should.
Yes.
Okay.
So here we go. First taste. So for the first one, it tastes very sweet, even though it's been going for about a week. It has a very sweet taste. Now it tastes like typical chunmi. There's no added or different flavors.
Right, because this is base one. We're flavoring today.
Yeah, and everything is based on, all my tastes are based on what a chunmi should taste like. And this is sweet. This is maybe a little early for a typical chunmi. So being this is the first one, is this the characters for all of them? We did the chunmi over all of them, same amount of sugars, everything exactly
they
the
should
same.
taste exactly the same.
Similar if the music doesn't have some effect on. That's kind
Which
of
is what we don't know. Well,
don't know.
actually, I think you do know, and you're just not saying.
we don't know for sure. We
Okay.
always need a second opinion. We'll see.
Okay, so
We'll
I'm gonna
turn
flip
this
the
down.
camera around, and I'm gonna count.
So bright, nutty, sweet, kind of like a citrus. It's like, to me,
I've only had straight chunmi once,
yeah.
but
And the version you had was for champagne booch, which was drier. It had been fermenting for a longer
was
period
drier.
of time. Yep. More carbonate, natural carbonation. This is, being that it's singularly and kind of shut away from a large batch, a little slower. Especially when you do a brand new SCOBY, brand new base tea. Like, things kind of happen a little bit more muted sometimes in smaller batches as you're building them up. Seeing as this is a brand new SCOBY, you can see right here, all that new, brand new growth is from
and that's the
this
other thing we want to
fermentation.
look at. We actually weighed these,
Yep.
but we want to pop the top on each of these and see if different ones grow differently, and then we're even going to weigh them. Right? That's the plan.
When we're finished.
When we're
gonna
totally
weigh-
finished with everything.
We're totally finished and we've extracted the SCOBY for filling. We will.
But we
weigh them
can
out.
we can pop the top on this video right now, right? Just like we did right there.
For all
and
the
just
other
visually
ones? Yeah.
see if with our eyes we see some growth.
Definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
On to the next one.
On to the next one. Let's turn that down so it's not interfering. Thank you so much, Denise. This is Love Juliet, Amber Shea, and her song is I Love You, I'm Sorry, which is super, awesomely funny.
Only when you say. Only when you add that Canadian flair.
Sorry.
All right. And we'll turn
Music.
This one up. I'll hand that to you.
Okay.
Turn it up a bit. We'll start with the look this time.
Okay. You know, I mean, it might just be me, but this one seems to have grown more towards the center, whereas that other one looked like
Well,
the
that
growth
other one
perimeter.
was a little agitated. So
Okay.
I had moved that one around to get it closer to the table.
Okay.
So if you notice, if you agitate them, they kind of tend to pull away from the sides.
Okay.
So what I noticed is a very similar new growth. My focus always is what's new.
Right.
This existed before. It's bubbled up. There's the darker stuff underneath that was there at the primary when we put it in. That's the older SCOBY. All of this is brand new.
That lighter color stuff.
Lighter color, so you can kind of gently see it. My hands are clean. You can just kind of, with my nails, see very thin but wonderful new growth.
Okay. So, in your opinion, are you seeing more growth on one than the other? or different effects of growth?
I haven't looked at them a ton. So we do have a slightly different effect here, which is due to like extra bubbling, so you can see the texture of the SCOBY, whereas the other one didn't have as much. So maybe there's a little bit more mood. Maybe because this one's lower, it could be cooler or warmer. There could be a slight. Kombucha's crazy. You can have, or the music could be affecting it. So
Yeah.
Which I'm hopeful for that.
Right.
All right, so we still have that taste of the other one in our mouth, so we'll have a great comparison now.
You're going
You go
first. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, don't say anything. Okay?
All right.
More or less. This is actually really difficult. It would be easy if I was touching my lip, but trying to keep the camera on me and not touch the edge and pour. You know, this is like patting my head and rubbing my stomach, but here we go.
Full mouth.
That is definitely different.
I think so. So nutty tone and a lot brighter.
Way more citrus, but not as sweet.
Similar,
yeah, but
I think it's less sweet. That one is very sweet front.
Right.
Nutty very much in the kind of the secondary. This one I get a lot of nuttiness, a lot of. There's not a better explanation for that. I wish I could explain it clearer, but that's the best I can. Just kind of a unique.
Denise's,
savory.
yeah, Denise's though felt like. I mean, I know there's not been any tea in it yet, but it had the kind of the a really natural thing that felt like it had already been brewed in tea.
Well, no, so prime kombucha is with tea.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
The secondary aspect. So secondary is when we flavor it. So
yeah, no, but this right now had more of a not a grainy flavor, but like a dried tea, earthy flavor.
Okay, so yeah, I think the tea tones were a little bit
Stronger,
sweeter here. It
yeah.
tasted like a really sweet tea.
Yeah.
Whereas this does have a drier in the mouth, and which is usually maybe this is because of temperature could be fermenting a little bit quicker. So for my brain, because of all the time I spend tasting this just tastes comparatively a little further along. Similarly, but the tones are coming out. It's much brighter, which could be due to the song and the tones. It could. I don't know yet. We have our last one, which is very different from these two.
Oh,
Less
way
singer
different. These
songwriter.
two are more similar to each other.
Kind of bright.
Right.
Kind of
And-
lovely sounding
Yep,
songs.
yep.
All right, let's crank this one up.
Yeah, that is just a very different sound.
I enjoy it quite a bit.
I love it. We gonna taste first this time, or are we gonna look?
Let's look. I think that gives us a little bit. So slightly different texture, as you can tell. Not as much wrinkling, more bubbling. This one, to me, may look a little thicker because you're seeing less color through, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that looks really opaque compared to.
And let us know what you think.
Yeah, in the comments, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. This is an ongoing experiment, though.
Yes.
The biggest thing we learned is don't do 3 at a time.
As lovely as this experience is, it feels like it would honor the song more if we took the time to
Right.
really spend with one song.
Right. So we will be doing that, one song a month
Yes.
from here forward.
But this has been a wonderful learning experience, and I feel like you learn more when you just dive in. And we want
Absolutely.
to try 3, and I love working with all 3, but I feel like it deserves the attention to spend time on one.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Okay. So what I have to do is touch my thumb.
There you go.
So that I know that I'm there. Now, I have a very uneducated palate. I'm much more of a visual artist creatively. I'm learning this food thing. But
So for me, this is very similar to the
Last one.
It's very close in brightness. Again,
I think Amber's was a little brighter, and this felt a little drier. But again, do you agree with that, or?
I could see where that could be. To me, the mouthfeel was very similar. The taste up front was very similar, maybe slightly more tart, but that's the problem. We're also progressing. So it might be beneficial off camera for us to go back through to get a more clear analysis of like what it might be doing to our palate. But they could be tasting stronger because we're tasting more.
Okay.
Sometimes happens with kombucha. But for me, I think it was very close to Amber's.
Amber's. But there is definitely a difference with Denise's.
Definitely. A lot sweeter. I mean, and again, we have some airflow here, which could also is a beneficial thing for kombucha. Is the more air movement you can have, the better it is for fermentation as far as speed. Oxygen is a big part. That's why we have this open air, just cloth. So again, my science brain goes to how could and why could they be slightly different. But when I first tasted this, I felt like this one was much different. Now tasting it after in this more formal way, it tastes similar, but it may be a little bit stronger on the front. Like just more kind of citrus punch and less nuttiness. Amber's was for me, very nutty, which it's hard to express.
Yeah, I think nutty might be what I'm trying to use, earthy.
Which I think equate, yeah. It's more of a savory tone in the sweet sour space. And that's kind of, nuttiness just makes the most sense for my brain. But I can see earthy as well.
So our next state is that we are going to be, well, you are going to be flavoring these.
Yeah, so I'm going to spend more time. We have one more day, but today is the day that we're going to create the infusion. So at the end of the day today, we're going to whip these flavors up, and let them steep for 12 to 24 hours at high temperature. And it's going to be raw, dried, organic herbs and different seasonings.
Right.
And flavors. And
based on feedback from them and based on your
based on how this song, like kind of a
makes you
unique
feel.
thing that not a lot of people are playing with, but how the song makes me feel taste-wise. What flavors come to mind? What kind of experience would I hope to have while listening to this song? With the tones that this kombucha is giving me. What flavors in that emotional space match what this is giving me as well. So I have some fun ideas for this one. I love this kind of rock and kind of heavy tonal and a lot of solos, and I think there's some cool stuff that I have in mind for this one.
Cool. So they will be available this Saturday, Farmers Market. You got to check it out.
Yep.
Because it's going to be awesome. We'll have tasting samples.
Yep.
We will be selling both by the bottle and by the 12-pack. That's what we decided. Did I?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So come check it out. If we sell out, it's not a problem. We can take your order and deliver the following Friday. So
so these are singular batches, so we'll get 40 bottles from each flavor.
Right.
And that'll be what we have.
That'll be what we have.
So
but when I say sell out, I don't know if I'm going to take that many
of course.
bottles to a farmer's market. So if we sell out of the stock there, then we're done. But this is
it's fun. It's exciting.
Fun.
I love doing
it's
this.
It's just small batch.
Yeah.
So
singular, small batch, isolated. It's kind of fun to see what happens.
Yep. And we're still working on who we're going to have next month. I think we've got a couple of people both of us are thinking about. But one thing that we can guarantee you is whoever is doing this next month will be from Ogden. Why is that?
Because we're focusing on that local musician thing. We want people close to home who are a part of our kind of space who know us and we know them and we see them at local shows. And
you missed it.
What'd I miss?
You were supposed to say, because I dig Ogden.
Oh, I did. I was going deeper.
You went way deep. But you know what? The cool thing is, at the bottom of all the deepness, all of the things you said, they were correct. And all of them also mean I dig Ogden.
I dig Ogden.
Thanks.